Hello everybody. For my last video I was talking about how on Halloween it was difficult. Well, let me tell you, Halloween started off great. I was moving right along. I got all three tents set up. I got everything tied together. I got the doors up. I got the slats, the black slats that I use as the entrance up. And then I had just gotten done with closing them in by putting the sides on it. I use these really cool tents. You can kind of see in some of the pictures here. So that was all done. I looked at my watch. It was 10:30 a.m. And I was like, man, this is great. I'm moving right along. I'm ahead of schedule. I'm going to be able to get everything I wanted to get done, and I'll be able to plus some things. And by plussing, I mean adding things that I normally don't get to do. So this is great. I'm so happy. This is wonderful. Yay. And then the wind picked up. And the wind picked up like it was strong. And the way my house is positioned is that my house and the house next door are both at kind of like a slight angle. And they kind of create a funnel effect when wind is coming out of the east. And the wind was coming out of the east-northeast that day, which was exactly down the middle of that funnel. So wind was shooting down the front of my driveway at in excess of 35, 40 miles an hour is what the gusts were. The sustained winds were right around 20 to 25 sustained, with gusts higher than that. So the tents I had set up were being pushed across the driveway, and they were getting ready to fly away. So I said, okay, I have a whole bunch of weights, dumbbells sitting around. I have heavy dumbbells. Some of these are between 45 to 80 pounds. So I grabbed those dumbbells. I tied them on to each leg of the tent, every leg of the tent. So what's that? 12 legs plus another 4. So 16 legs. I had 16 different weights on the tent. So each tent weighed in excess of 300 pounds. And it didn't matter. The tents were still being moved by the wind to the point of they were almost about to collapse because the weight on top of them plus the bending of the arms was about to make those things collapse. And I was afraid I was going to lose all my tents. So I had to make an adjustment. I had to make a call on the fly to change the way I normally do my Halloween with the layout, the structure of the tents. I had to reduce it from 3 tents to 2 tents. Normally I have a 15-foot long tent that goes into a 10-foot tent that goes into another 15-foot long tent. So it's like basically you're walking through for 45 feet in the dark. I had to just go to a 10 and a 15. And then I had to reconfigure the openings. So I had to take the opening off the one that I had and put it on a different tent, which takes a lot of time to remove it and then to figure out how to add it to a different tent that I don't normally attach a doorway to. And then I had to just get it all together, and I had to move the tents closer to the house and kind of tuck them in to kind of be shielded by the house itself from all the wind. So it was, for me personally, a disaster because I didn't get all the stuff I wanted to get done. All the things I wanted to have. I have, if you saw some of my previous videos, I have the scare steppers where there's a button on the floor. You step on the button on the floor, and it triggers lights and sound for a scare actor then to be seen and jump out at you. All of those, I had 4 of those. I didn't get to use any of those. I had built another stepper that was triggered by a infrared beam. When someone crossed that beam, it would trigger the lights to flash orange and purple. It would make a bong sound, like a warning, like a bell gong, like dong. And that would alert the scare actors that someone had entered the haunted house. So sometimes there's a lull when people are going in and out of the haunted house. So long story short, I had to move everything, change everything. A lot of stuff didn't get done. I didn't get my air compressor hooked up to my skeleton, the green skeleton that you'll see in the corner there. It was just sitting there. So I had some cardboard pieces that I got from an old Home Depot display years ago. And I've moved them to 1, 2, 3. This is my 4th house I've had those that cardboard in. So I used those, hung them from the top of the tent, the supports, and kind of made like a just blocked views inside the shorter tents. And it actually worked out well, and I think I'll do the same thing this year. So funny enough, even though to me personally the thing was a disaster, I didn't get done what I wanted to get done, it was missing stuff for me, nobody else that showed up knew that. So everyone that came that day had no idea that I had to shorten it. Was missing stuff. People were having a great time. Out front was just as busy as ever it is, and I'll show you some video from all that. But for me, it was a shame. It was a very difficult day, and I was exhausted. But in any event, here's video from that night. Enjoy.